Welcome back to our channel, brave viewers, where we uncover the thrilling world of movies. In the heart of New York City, a chilling tale of survival unfolds. Welcome to a quick recap of P2, a psychological thriller that will keep you on the edge of your seat from start to finish. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and leave a like to our channel. Let's begin. The story revolves around Angela Nichols, a determined corporate climber, who finds herself stuck at work on Christmas Eve. Despite her commitment, she plans to attend a family holiday party later. As Angela heads towards the parking garage to leave, she exchanges greetings with Carl, the main lobby security guard. However, her plans take an unexpected turn when she discovers her car won't start. In her attempt to resolve the car issue, Angela seeks help from Thomas, another security guard, but their efforts prove futile. Thomas, who harbors feelings for Angela, offers her to spend Christmas with him, but she politely declines and decides to call for a taxi instead. As she waits in the lobby for the taxi, Angela realizes that she's locked in, and Carl is nowhere to be found. Fearing she might miss her chance to leave, she hurriedly rushes back to the garage to locate Thomas. With the lights in the garage suddenly shutting down, Angela finds herself in darkness, guided only by the light from her cell phone. In a moment of misfortune, she trips, dropping everything, including her phone. After recovering it, she uses the light to illuminate her surroundings and is shocked to find Thomas standing right behind her. A terrifying sequence of events unfolds as Thomas attacks Angela, incapacitating her with a chloroform-soaked rag, rendering her unconscious. Later, Angela regains consciousness in a daze, finding herself trapped in Thomas's office with her ankle chained to the table. Thomas, in a somewhat intoxicated state, presents her with a Christmas dinner featuring turkey and mashed potatoes. He appears to be intrigued by Angela's life and delves into her past, asking numerous questions. During their conversation, he mentions his current read, Ernest Hemingway's novel, The Sun Also Rises. Despite Angela's protests and attempts to reason with him, Thomas declares his affection for her despite her flaws, drawing a parallel to the main character's love in the novel. However, Angela's pleas fall on deaf ears as Thomas continues to hold her captive, even going as far as manipulating her into deceiving her family by faking an illness to prevent them from looking for her. Thomas then suggests taking Angela for a drive, but before he can fully release her chains, she seizes the opportunity and thrusts a fork into his back in a desperate attempt to escape, unfortunately to no avail. Handcuffing Angela's wrists tightly behind her back, they both get into his car and drive down to P4. There, they discover their coworker, Jim, bound to an office chair. In the past, Jim had made unwanted advances towards Angela in an elevator during an office Christmas party, and Thomas, having seen the security footage, assumed Angela sought revenge. He sees this as a gift for her. Angela refuses, trying to explain that she does not want harm to come to Jim. Thomas, however, insists that Jim's apology doesn't excuse his actions, as he believes Jim has crossed boundaries with others as well. During their argument, Thomas starts questioning Angela's feelings for Jim, suggesting that there might have been more than just a professional relationship between them, perhaps even an affair for career advancement. His beliefs waver between what Angela is saying and his own unfounded assumptions about her feelings towards the married man. Amid the tension, Thomas eventually proposes that Angela should be the one to punish Jim. Initially, she resists, contemplating an escape plan once she's untied or going along with Thomas to protect herself. However, Thomas changes his mind, unwilling to involve Angela in such a violent act and deeming it unfair to make her a bad person. Instead, he takes matters into his own hands. Thomas brutally assaults Jim with a flashlight and repeatedly rams him into the wall with the car, leading to fatal injuries that cause Jim's intestines to rupture. In the chaos, Angela seizes the opportunity to escape from the car. After putting a significant distance between herself and Thomas, Angela skillfully maneuvers her legs through the handcuffed wrists, cleverly repositioning her arms to the front of her body instead of being restrained behind her back. As Thomas frantically conceals the evidence of Jim's death, Angela hurries back to the office to retrieve her cell phone and, seizing the opportunity, she also swipes some key cards. At a gate on P1, she manages to catch a signal and attempts to call for help. However, upon spotting Thomas turning the corner, fear grips her, causing the phone to slip from her grasp, falling to the other side. Realizing she must escape, she dashes towards the elevators with Thomas hot on her heels. Thanks to the stolen keycards, she gains access and desperately tries to reach the lobby, only to find the floor button mysteriously malfunctioning, leading her right back to P1. To her horror, she finds herself almost face to face with Thomas and his dog Rocky. In a desperate bid to elude Thomas, Angela takes refuge in an elevator shaft, utilizing the emergency stop feature between floors. She desperately presses the emergency button for help and connects with a man speaking with a heavy South Asian accent. Despite her pleas to call 911, the mysterious man insists that Thomas was trying to assist her, but Angela soon realizes that the voice belongs to none other than Thomas himself. Refusing to trust him, she remains hidden, causing Thomas to resort to extreme measures. Thomas floods the elevator with a fire hose from a higher floor, forcing Angela out of her hiding spot. As the elevator fills with water, a chilling discovery is made as Carl's lifeless body drops from the ceiling, presumably dead. Eventually, the elevator reaches the next floor, violently spilling Angela and Carl into the hallway. Desperate to save Carl, she tries to revive him, but her efforts prove futile. Angela is forced to make a heart-wrenching decision. She must leave Carl behind to save herself. Angela hides underneath a car, but Thomas easily scents her and punctures the tires one by one. That forces Angela to come out of hiding. She evades Thomas once again and continues to seek refuge to the lower floor. In a cruel twist of fate, Carl's body remains abandoned on the flooded hallway floor, with a fresh gash on his head, possibly indicating he was still alive during the elevator flood. Thomas callously blames Carl for ruining Christmas and leaves his body behind, submerged in the water-filled corridor. Angela successfully evades Thomas by finding refuge in a dimly lit corner of the garage, determined to hide from him. Meanwhile, Thomas uses the garage sound system to play haunting Elvis songs, seemingly designed to torment her. Recognizing that he's using the security cameras to track her movements, Angela takes swift action. She locates an emergency fire axe and fearlessly smashes the cameras one by one, making her way toward Thomas's office, fully prepared to confront him. As she enters his office, she is shocked and enraged by the disturbing sight on the screen, footage of Thomas groping her while she was under the influence of drugs. Blinded by fury and desperate to destroy the evidence, Angela smashes the TV displaying the incriminating video using the fire axe. Unbeknownst to her, Thomas had been lying in wait, and he seizes the opportunity to ambush her, wielding a taser in his hands. The situation becomes even more intense as he unleashes the taser, aiming to subdue Angela. Meanwhile, two police officers arrive at the garage to conduct a routine patrol, unaware of the danger lurking within. During their patrol, the officers come across the boards that have been placed over Jim's blood splatter, but they don't find anything suspicious and move on. They have returned to the security guard's quarter to tell Thomas that they haven't found anything unusual. Little do they know, Thomas has discreetly concealed a fire axe and remains cautious while interacting with them through his office door. He keeps the weapon at the ready, anticipating any potential threat. Angela, who had been unconscious, regains consciousness only to realize she's locked in the trunk of her vehicle. She manages to break free and rushes to catch up with the police officers before they leave, desperately seeking their help. Unfortunately, she arrives too late and finds herself facing Thomas and his ferocious attack dog at the door. Thomas commands his dog, Rocky, to attack Angela, but she quickly finds refuge inside a nearby Lincoln town car by smashing one of its windows. The dog relentlessly pursues her and lunges at her inside the car. She tries to kick the dog, but it retaliates by biting her legs as she screams in agony. In a desperate fight for survival, Angela defends herself by repeatedly striking the dog's head with a tire iron she had used to escape from the trunk. With the threat of the attack dog neutralized, Angela, now covered in blood, manages to make her way to a nearby rental car office and immediately calls 911 for help. Knowing that Thomas might come after her, she quickly devises a plan to defend herself. She grabs a handful of rental car keys before hiding in a closet, as Thomas relentlessly pursues her. The tense and perilous situation continues as Thomas relentlessly pursues Angela, but she gains a momentary advantage by using the chemical spray to temporarily disable him before driving away in one of the available cars. With determination, she drives away from the scene, leaving Thomas behind. As Angela heads towards the exit, unexpectedly, Thomas collides with her in his vehicle, setting the stage for a high-stakes confrontation. In a daring game of chicken, Angela emerges victorious. However, during the intense pursuit, Angela loses control of her vehicle, leading to a crash that leaves her seemingly unconscious. Seizing the opportunity, Thomas opens the car door to assist her, only to fall victim to Angela's cunning deception. Feigning injury, Angela surprises Thomas by using an envelope opener to strike him in the eye. She then takes advantage of her handcuff chains, using them to subdue him. Utilizing Thomas's keys, Angela frees herself from the handcuffs and restrains him to the damaged car. Armed with Thomas's taser, she prepares to make her escape. In a last-ditch effort to appeal to her humanity, Thomas pleads with Angela, asking why they can't simply be friends. However, Angela remains unmoved, her heart hardened by past events. Angered by Thomas's insults, he resorts to offensive language, further fueling her determination. Without any sympathy left for Thomas, Angela proceeds to ignite the gasoline leaking from the wrecked car, causing flames to engulf him and the vehicle. Unfazed by his agonizing cries, she watches for a moment before finally turning away and leaving the scene. After Thomas's demise, Angela, with a limping gait due to the dog's bite on her leg, emerges from the garage and makes her way through the snowy streets of New York City, heading towards the illuminated presence of several ambulances. And that's the end of the story. I hope you liked it. Comment down below what movies do you like us to recap next. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until next time.